don't never shine lighting. The bad side of life seems so inviting. So I'm unsure if I'm unsure. I'm just a big shot who's coming up short. I'm just a little boy trapped in a grown man's body. Only time I ever want is when I know I ain't got it. So give me that piece. 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 You know it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Need a little something more. 5, 6, 7, 8. All that other shit can wait. 9, 10, 11, 12. Why'd I do this to myself? I need some beats right now. I'm talking 1, 2, 3, 4. Need a little something more. 5, 6, 7, 8. All that other shit can wait. 9, 10, 11, 12. Why'd I do this to myself? I need some beats right now. I'm trying to make mine. The time is on my side, and that's a great sign. Going with the flow, I never swam a straight line. My ocean at the moment's only feeling waist high. So maybe I can stay afloat and take a stage dive in the deep part of it. I don't have to say why, I don't even bother me. Hit you with the face palm. If you keep hollering, I'll pop you, then it's over. Make you Leviosa on some Harry Potter shit. Yeah, I will not admit, I'm dishonest with, my own consciousness. I kinda miss the obvious, plus I got a bitch, but I know life's a bitch. I guess that makes me polyamorous. That's probably cause I have nots, always want more. That's why there's padlocks on the front door. That's why the window blinds don't ever shine lighting. The bad side of life seems so inviting. So I'm unsure if I'm unsure. I'm just a big shot who's coming up short. I'm just a little boy trapped in a grown man's body. Only time I ever want is when I know I ain't got it. So give me that piece. 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 You know it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Need a little something more. 5, 6, 7, 8. All that other shit can wait. 9, 10, 11, 12. Why'd I do this to myself? I need some beats right now. I'm talking 1, 2, 3, 4. Need a little something more. 5, 6, 7, 8. All that other shit can wait. 9, 10, 11, 12. Why'd I do this to myself? I need some beats right now. Give me that. Give me that. I need some beats right now. Yeah. Give me that. Give me that. I need some peace right now.
What is going on? What's going on? Welcome back, everybody. Let me make sure this looks good. My name is Zach. This is Real Deal Futures. I'm a few minutes late to this 2 p.m. Eastern live stream, September 5th, Thursday. Going to be looking at ES on the 1-minute chart here on TopstepX. We'll start with a little trade review from my morning. Small green in an XFA, 2 losses and across 2 XFAs actually. 2 losses and a win to bring me back to small green. What is up, boys? Let me just make sure we look good. YouTube doesn't kick me off. Cool. Bookmap's kind of tripping, but we're back at it. Back at it again with Bookmap. Nice. All right, guys, let's get into it. First off, remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Trading's risky. Most traders lose money. You're probably going to lose money if you trade. Nothing I say or do is a suggestion or recommendation to do anything. This is all for entertainment purposes only. Read the full disclaimer. Read Rule CFTC 4.41. So, we opened up. Choppy overnight. Let's just get into it pretty quick here. We sold off on Tuesday pretty hard. Wednesday, push up, set the top of this range, chop back around, choppy overnight, right? We opened up within this range, a little bit bullish. We put this 15-minute opening range high in, and then we had quite a bit of news here. We had 10 a.m. news, 9:45 news, I think. Some orange folder, some red folder, some orange folder. But this trade, first one sucked. Was not happy about this. Not a valid setup for me. Not leaning on any of the edges that I look to exploit here in the morning. Cut this one pretty quickly once I said, hey, you know what? This really isn't going to fit the bill for me. Small L on that one. I had about initially $250, $260 worth of risk on this one. This one coming back in. So first one, L. This one coming back into the 15-minute opening range, right? We're bullish. We're above session VWAP. This is NYSE VWAP. This is anchored VWAP from prior day. Break up above overnight high, 15-minute opening range high. Handful of levels that I look on my chart. It's a little bit messy today just because everything's overlapping. Came back down into this zone back below 15-minute opening range high after breaking into the upside, back below New York session VWAP, kind of started to bounce here a little bit, and then looked like we were breaking to the downside. This one's valid for me. I'm targeting 15-minute opening range low. I'm playing a statistic that 80% of the time, here, ready? I'm going to pull this up for you guys so I can be exact. Over the last 6 months, ES has broken both sides of the 15-minute opening range over 80% of the time from NYSE session, for NYSE session, from 9:30 a.m. to close. That's a hell of a stat. I find that statistically significant. You can see this stuff in backtesting. I'm using Edgeful to start to display some of this stuff. Again, still testing and messing with that software. It's really, really cool so far. I will let you know if I'm going to bring it to you guys, more heads on coming up this coming week. But that's the example of that stat today. 15-minute opening range is set from 9:30 a.m. to 9:45 a.m. In ES, it breaks both sides of that. Standard, over the last 6 months, 71.76% of the time. It's broken both the upside and the downside throughout the trading session. If you go by weekday, Thursday is an unusually even higher number, over 80%, 80.77% of the days it's broken. Over the last 6 months for Thursday, there's been only one breakout and 4 breakdowns without breaking both sides. So interesting stat to see. So I'm targeting that, right? Along with that, I'm using structure. I'm not just using that statistic to say, hey, we're getting ready to go short as soon as we break the upside. No. We're selling off hard, right? We failed to move higher. This looked like the rotation back down into the zone. Even if we're going to push up on the day, I think we're likely to come down here, clear out everybody that was getting long all the way up, pull that painful U.S. indice move that we see sometimes. Failed. I sold the low here, stopped out. No problem. Did I freak out? Did I get upset? Did I say, oh, you know what? I'm so angry I can't trade? No. Stayed patient. I thought those might be my only 2 trades for the day. I still had a little bit of working room with the amount of risk that I'm allowing myself to put on for these XFAs. We came up here again, hardly broke the high, and then really started to sell off. We put our initial balance high, the 1 hour open, in right up here. Started to sell off pretty damn hard. Back down towards all of these levels again. Same trade. It's a very similar trade, guys. We also had some levels of liquidity on Bookmap popping up down below, giving me additional, you can call it confidence, to start to trade in this direction again. Only thing that I could have done better on this one is leaving this trade on to 15-minute opening range low and initial balance low. I cut this thing just a little bit short, about 10 ticks away. $456 worth of profit put me just under $100 for the XFAs for the morning. That's it. 33% win rate, 2 losses and a win. The winner being bigger than all those losses. No scale outs. This was a whole hold. Again, in the morning, I'm less likely, unless I have a real reason to believe we're going to pull a move like this, I'm less likely to scale in and out. Maybe scale in, but less likely to scale out in profit unless I'm really going for a big extension. If we're breaking above, like if I had a trade like this on where I think, hey, we're going to run past prior day high and keep going, maybe I'm looking for that type of move. For this one, the closeout should have just been down here. Started to catch some hesitation, was in a nice amount of profit. Again, held it quite a while, but that I think I was watching Bookmap as well, sketching me out a little bit, but that's the improvement, right? Not going to be perfect every day. This one's solid. I'm taking this trade every day. As we break down in below here, get rid of that. This one sucked. I'm not taking this trade every day. We are above all these levels, yes, but didn't wait for a pullback. Really just was jumping in right at the break of these highs. Kind of saw this and felt we were just going to continue this run up, and just trying to capitalize on the trend and momentum too early on when I know we're within this range. We are choppy over here. I don't want to shoot for the extension. There's no reason to put that type of risk on. So that's that, man. Solid morning. Not $2,000 day or anything like that. $100, but a comeback from red to green. So that always feels good. And again, challenging yourself to put that third trade on when your edge is present, knowing that you don't know the outcome of every trade. You don't know when the winner is going to come or not come. That could have been an easily third loss, and I would have been nice and red on the day in XFAs. That's okay. We'll say held that bad boy pretty damn long. Again, reading price action, reading Bookmap, ducked out just a hair early on that one. Yes, closing above the low of session is definitely safer. Maybe we don't come down and wipe all these, wipe all this out, but that's the stat I'm playing. So I got to hold that bad boy. Now, really failed to go lower. We cracked, let me jump out to the 5-minute. We cracked prior day low. We cracked a low of this range here. Started to tap into this area. If you're in my free Discord, you get all these levels. Tapped into this area down here. The next area of structure that I'm looking below prior day low, again, discretionary level, not a super strong level. I would say this down here is a little bit cleaner. But just another low that was put in before, push to the upside. So started to crack into the top of that and now have, really reacted, found support there and came all the way back up into this range. Testing 15-minute opening range low and initial balance low. And it looks like we want to come back down and reject this. Looks like we're finding some resistance here. So, fix my chart. I'm trying to run through this quickly because this doesn't look terrible for a short. I don't know that we're going to absolutely sell off, but right now it does look like we want to come back down and hit overnight high, maybe check this high out, check this area of consolidation, kind of fill some of this imbalance. We are above session VWAP, New York VWAP. Prior day New York VWAP we're not really above. Really finding some strong resistance here at these zones and starting to sell back off. A short play could be in store. If you wanted to jump right into that, it's definitely not a bad move. I would look at something like this. Oh, it might move without me. You're wrong if it comes back up above these highs. Targeting something down here. I really don't love this risk structure. Something along those lines. Maybe you start to take some off a little past halfway to 1-to-1. But it's tough because I don't think this is likely to run to the downside. We could see this BS move and then a crack above again and then continuation. Now we pulled all the way back up into this range. Yes, we're finding resistance here. Do I think we're likely to run to the downside? No. Do I think we're likely to come all the way back up here and break above all these levels again? No, I don't. I think we're likely to just chop around. I don't have clear direction, so I'm just going to hang out. That's my game plan right now. Again, guys, I like to come on these live sessions and take trades with you, right? If there's no setup, there's no edge in the market, I'm just putting a buy or sell on for no reason, just to entertain. That's not good trading. Had the read right yesterday, called it right. I feel like that, again, if I had a way to structure this, just to check out overnight low again, which is a pretty nice strong level that we've seen a bunch of times tested, I would trade down towards that. I'd run a really wide stop loss, and that's just not a good risk structure, right? Do I want a 0.5 to 1? Do I want a stop loss way above here in case we come up and chop around before we come down and then run that type of a risk? No, not really. Am I going to run a stop loss right here because I think we're about to sell off to the downside? No. So we're going to chill. I'm just going to chill out on this. Check Bookmap over here, our good friend Bookmap. Nothing immediate. I'll show you guys that in a minute. But what is up? Welcome back on. What's up? What's up? What's up? Jose, what's going on, my man? New York. How we doing? If you guys want some really good energy in your life, hop in the free Discord, and Jose will jack you up with a whole bunch of all caps messages after he posts his trades. Send you some memes in the morning. It's great stuff. Great stuff. If you don't know, free Discord, if you're new here, not a VIP feeder program, not me posting a whole bunch of green, P&Ls and a bunch of people posting P&Ls with no explanation. Live trading consistently almost every day here on YouTube where you can ask me questions right now and I will answer trading questions. Feel free, ask away. My analysis every morning, my charts with all these levels and all this important stuff on it, you can get every single day from me with a brief analysis, kind of what I'm looking at, what I'm considering from a higher time frame perspective. You can ask me questions. I still answer everyone personally. We got over 1,000 active members. Badass community. I call out news every day. This morning, hey guys, we got red folder news. Every single day I post the chart from Forex Factory, red folder, yellow folder, orange folder, everything. Let you know when it is. Let you know, hey, we got NFP tomorrow. Pay attention to this stuff. I do my best to provide value to you guys, to actually put stuff out that's going to help. Not a bunch of BS and flaunting things or stuff that I think is going to get a bunch of views. Of course, I'm going to look for some ways to get eyes on me, right? So I can reach out to more people. But actually valuable stuff. That's the core. When I put stuff out, I try to ask myself, is this helpful to everybody? Is this something that I would find helpful if maybe I was a few years back in time? That's what I do. So we'll be happy to have you in that free Discord. Link is in the description. Tell them about my, Lambos, bro. That's all it is. It's just straight Lambos. I go and I rent Lambos, and I rent penthouses in Miami, and I just, I have money counters, and I have a bunch of fake money and fake watches, and I go to the middle of the mall, and I get these big diamonds, and I go, look, bro, you can do this too. And then I have a Forex account with a fake broker, and it's just, like 9 million lots of gold running all the time. So if you want that, you can join the Signals group, and there's 999% accuracy, and there's, it's guaranteed. So yeah, no, none of that crap. Hopefully you've given up on that already. Hopefully. Yeah. Jose knows. Oh, man. I know you like that middle of the mall comment, Jose. You said too much. Yeah, no, we're kind of chopping back up here. I want to see potentially a breakdown out of this zone. Could look for something like this. It's not real common that we're going to run to the upside. I mean, I do see the failure to go lower. So I'm not 100% sure on this yet. I'm going to wait and see. No direction, right? Let's map this out. Choppy, right? Back and forth and back and forth. Here's the trend, guys. What do we think about this? And then at the open, look at this. Oh, we're going to get bullish. We're looking bullish. And then, nope, we're looking bearish. Back down, down. Oh, look. Oh, no, wait. We're finding support all the way back up. And now back up into this range. This is not very clear, right? If I had to draw out what this looks like to me, it's this. So we're not at the extremes of either of these ranges. We're not way up here like this trade that I took earlier this morning, where we sold up here and we're headed back down towards the bottom of the range or some levels. We're right in the middle. We're rotating back up into the middle of this. We're probably right at volume point of control, VWAP, right back up to all these VWAPs. I got nothing right here. This is an ugly place to trade. So we're going to chill. That's the game plan. And see if we can't find something start to pop up on Bookmap. Something to give us a little bit of help here. Let's make sure we're not trading into any news here. Double check that. No red, no orange. 7:30. Yeah, nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. I came from ASFX. What's up? Love my man Austin Silver. That dude is the real deal. Shout out to Austin Silver. Came from his channel. Are you a scalper? I don't know, man. I don't know what you would classify as a scalper. I would say hop in the free Discord, check out my trades. I got a channel in there where I post my charts. This morning I post stuff like this. You get the full, what I was showing you right here. Get the full breakdown. I show you wins, losses, all the good stuff. You can decide for yourself whether that's considered scalping or not. I would say not really. I trade pretty damn similarly to the way that Austin trades. Use a lot of the same tools, leverage a lot of the same stuff. We both trade ES. I think he probably would be a little bit more systematic than I would be. But I don't know. I don't want to put him into any kind of classification, man. But similar. I use VWAPs. Again, I'm leveraging a lot of the same stuff that works really well. A lot of the same stuff that a lot of other guys are working. None of these levels are made up, imaginary, crazy, mythical levels. This is the common stuff. Market generated information. All of this. You can find this every single day on your chart. This stuff down here, discretionary off of structure. But that's what I find works really well. So am I a scalper? Not really. I would say really tight stop loss, going for, a couple minutes worth of time in trades. Probably would classify me more as a scalper. Intraday trading on the 1 minute chart. So not real high time frame at all, but I don't think we're scalping here really. We're not shooting for 20 ticks on NQ. Nothing crazy like that. Day trader. Yeah, I would stick with day trader. That seems to work. Sounds good. Sorry guys, thirsty as all hell. Trying to get hydrated here. Went on a run. It's 90 degrees. I sweat my ass off. So don't mind me chugging water. Yeah, nothing crazy. Again, nothing crazy sticking out on Bookmap. I do see some stuff right above, up here. We've got some orders, not a massive amount. Book looks actually pretty damn thin. It's not, well, yeah, just nothing crazy. Let me zoom way out. Ooh, if I zoom way out, 30 points below price, we got some liquidity. We've got some liquidity down at 4, right below the low. Classic. Yeah, that's an easy one. Easy spot. 490, we got liquidity. That's solid. Not much up above, nothing really up here. If I zoom way out, I can find a little bit. Up here. I'm finding it more right above this level. 31 here. Let me show you guys this. So this is Bookmap. This is my favorite order flow tool. This is displaying level 2 data on a heat map. Level 2 data for the futures market. This is ES. Here is your order book. This is your really traditional depth of market, right? Your current order book. That's what this is showing right here. Price levels and then quantity of orders on the book. This is live liquidity. You don't have to guess where the liquidity is. No, it doesn't show you everything. You don't see stop orders and things like that. But this is live liquidity. This is a heat map. This is the live market. Everything past that point is historical. This is giving you the breadcrumb trail. Best bid and ask price. This is price right in the middle here. You have volume bubbles and then a whole bunch of other tools. Cumulative volume delta, volume down here, volume profiles, session volume profiles. That stuff can be helpful. I really just like to see this depth of market chart displayed in this really easy to read, dumb guy. Hey, we got a bright Christmas tree lit up down here. Level of liquidity. So I'm looking at this right above price, where we're at here. Less than 10 points above as some liquidity. We might want to go up and tag that. If we do, maybe we kind of follow through and push higher. There is not a lot that it would want to continue up there and push past. And this is quite a ways down from price. Quite a ways down, obviously. So I find Bookmap extremely helpful. You can go back through my lives. You'll see where I'm using it. You'll see some badass trades work out nicely, but it's just like any other tool. You can use it 9 days in a row and it worked great. And on the 10th day, price just doesn't give a crap about liquidity and it's not going to come up here. It's going to do something else, and there's some fundamental driver behind why price is going to do whatever it's going to do, or whatever the reason is going to be. It's just not going to act the way that you think it's going to act. But it's, important areas of interest, let's call it, levels on the chart that I find helpful to know about. This is a paid product. You have to subscribe to the software, Bookmap right here. You go straight to their site, and then you need level 2 data as well. So it's a subscription to level 2 data. So that's kind of what we're looking at on Bookmap for right now. Definitely some liquidity above. That's the first thing I'd be looking at. Is it? Yeah, not right above this high, but you know, it's kind of up here above 30. Yeah, I'd say that you got some at 30, 55.30, which is right here, and then you got some at up near 55.31 and a half, I'd say. But looks pretty calm and choppy right now. We start selling off really aggressively and we come down towards these lows. That might be an area to trade towards now that we are showing some orders down there. Still think it's likely that we come and check this level out right here. Gun to my head, I'm going short. Same trade that I talked about, you know, when I hopped on here. Kind of ugly right now, but we're failing to move higher. We're just chopping around at this zone. It looks like there is... there's not a lot of volume behind moves to the downside. I don't want to say that. Yeah, gun to my head. I'm going stop loss above here, pushing to the downside. If we started to creep up here, I would get very uncomfortable with that liquidity. I think if we do come up here to this area, we're likely to crack back up near overnight high and 15-minute opening range high. So there might be a trade there. But we're just going to chill out for now. Short NQ. NQ going to snap. Covered some into the support. Nice, man. One left on the snap down. Great, man. Cool. Hi, Zach went through. Nice, dude. Very nice. Got the minimum. Someone in the chat's got XFA. And I think this gentleman's from Discord as well. What's up, brother? Got the XFA payout threshold. Very nice, man. Very nice. I'm approaching it myself. I think I'm 2 days away. Two $200 days. I'm back and forth between so many damn XFAs. If I had just traded one, maybe I don't know how it would make out profit or loss wise, but I probably would have qualified already. But nice, dude. Very nice. Looking for trades at bottom break on the NQ. Cool, man. Very cool. You do your thing. Have more people, one, climb Mount Everest, or two, be paid by TopStep? That's a good question. That's a great question. I don't know the answer to that. It might be Everest, man. You know, the prop firm world is elusive. It is not easy. You know, I don't want to be accused of displaying getting funded and this type of stuff as easy. Like, back in the Forex days, the stats that I used to talk to guys about, I was heavily against going the Forex prop firm route. After I got burned so many times and then really started to dig into the stats around Forex prop firms, they were abysmal, man. Those two-phase challenges, absolutely abysmal. Like, you had the slimmest chance to get funded and then actually get paid out. It was just abysmal. So the future is a whole lot better. I see way more guys, just by feel and guys in my community, way more guys earlier on in their journey getting funded and then getting paid out. But it's not easy. It's definitely not easy. And again, if you look objectively, it's harder to make money in a prop firm account with all of the risk parameters, all of the rules and things that you have to hit than a live account. Obviously, you have to have the money and you have to have the wherewithal not to blow a live account. So there's more risk involved, more dollar risk, but it's harder to do in a prop firm. You don't have the same rules. You don't have these risk parameters. You don't have consistency rules and daily payout rules. You know, you make $200 in your prop firm account, in your live account, you made $200. You do whatever you want with it. You can withdraw it that day. You know, not the same with prop firms. So it's not easy. It's important to say that. I mean, you can watch me and how long I've been doing it, and you know, this year has been painfully slow, man. Painfully slow. But I set goals and I stay committed to hitting them. Yeah, I'm trying to watch this and just form a thesis. I don't see it, man. There's really some buying behind this one. What are we doing here? Yes. what are we doing? Let's throw a visible range volume profile on here, guys. I just want to see something. This can help with, not a big indicator guy, if you haven't figured that out already. But I'm going to lighten this up a little bit. It's kind of the color profile that I like. This is a volume profile, obviously. Same as the fixed range volume profile. It's just visible range. And the reason I want to display this is I want to look at this session, NY session, NYSE, that is. Sorry, I'm going to run a test now, guys. I want to see something. Let me get my fixed range. Yeah, okay, it's just a mirror image. I just want to double check. So if I display exactly this amount of data, what this is doing is it's showing you visible range. So this is the visible range on my chart right now. If I move it like this, you'll see this volume start to change, right? If I scroll out and scroll like that, you see that volume start to change. Fixed range is exactly what that name suggests. It's a fixed range based on, you know, from here, the current bar, all the way back to whatever bar I decide. Right here, I'm looking at New York session. So, yeah, volume point of control is down here. The second highest, you know, peak would be right over here. So, I just wanted to get a feel for that. If I zoom way, way out, obviously you could see we're really right back out near volume point of control. If I display it from when we came down into this range, again, guys, just helps visualize the profile that we're kind of trading in here. You know, what does this look like to us? We definitely got some volume traded down here, but obviously we're you know, right back into the middle of this range. So again, can kind of just keep you out of choppiness, that type of thing. Sorry, let me fix my chart, zoom out. All right, it's annoying me. Can't do it. Tried. It's about how long I last with indicators. Volume weighted average price and volume down here. You would consider volume weighted average price and to be an indicator, but it's more of a volume tool if you ask me. Yeah, just choppy, guys. Just choppy. Now that we failed to come lower and we're testing the top of this range, again, I see this as a range, right? That's what this looks like to me. Here's your highs. Here's your lows tested a couple times. It looks like we want to chop higher. Again, we do have liquidity up here. I think if we start to crack above this, we could see some quick movement, you know, up to this level here. Am I confident enough to trade that? Really would like to get a trade on here in this combine, but see, just looking at bookmap over here on the side as we're starting to break out. Yeah, we're gonna pop, or at least for now. Let's see. Yeah, again, I don't have this one in me, guys. Again, I see us coming up into some liquidity, so I think we are likely to see this. If we don't reject right here, we come up to this 32.5-ish level. We kind of continue this move. I think we're likely to quickly pop up here. Rejection so far, all the way back down towards the range. Is it just going to expand a little bit? It's a tough one, guys. Going to watch this. Yeah, I don't really like this that much. Don't really like it that much. Middle of the range trade, you know, that's like overall the larger range. That's what this would be. You know, if I had to classify what this is right here, I'm looking at this as consolidation, rangy type structure, right? Right here is the middle. Down here is the bottom of the range. Up here is near the top of the range. This is dead set in the middle of the range, right where we're at. So could play the small movement back up here, utilizing Bookmap a little bit, but even what's on there is not super strong. Yeah, I think I'm gonna hang, guys. I don't see anything clear here. I don't really have a nice setup for this. Let's see what you guys say. Problem with prop firms is traders are on the way to much size and running gun. Yeah, sure. I see that. Most guys are sizing up way too quick. They're scaling up way before they should. And if they just played it a little bit slower and lower, they would be able to make something happen. But it's all about the opportunity, right? Look how much money we can make so quickly. How many thousands of dollars, and then I can quit my job and everything's great. You know, if you just looked at it like, wow, maybe I give somebody $200 and they give me $2,000. Give them $50 to take the test and $150 to activate it once I show them that I can trade, and they give me $2,000 to trade with. If I can make $500 or $600 with that, I did pretty damn good. And if you kind of reshaped your mind, you know, hear a lot of guys talk about that way. If you kind of thought about it that way, you know, you would probably make out a little bit better than having to shoot for this $10,000 payout or $5,000 payout and make this massive return on your investment. Shoot for a small return on your investment, you know, first. Brother, you're calling out a whole lot of stuff that's awesome. You scout the drop and all that. Give some context behind this. You're trading NQ. You're throwing out price levels. Why, if it can hold one level, is it going to push higher? You know, send me a paragraph in here for other people in the chat that might be interested in what you're looking at. I'm interested as well because I'm trading ES and it is correlated. So, you know, are we at a level that you're paying attention to? Is it market generated? Is it discretionary? You know, what's the basis behind some of these trades that you're talking about? Right back down to the top of this range. And if anybody else has questions, feel free to ask while we're hanging out on here, man. You know, this is live trading, but I make these educational discussions. You can ask me trading questions. You could ask me about my approach and strategy, that type of stuff. Anything that I might be able to help you out with. TopStep and Bookmap and Edgeful now that I'm looking at working with. Are you trading NFP tomorrow? Yes, I'm going to full port NFP. I'm going to copy all of my XFAs, and I'm going to go long at max contract. No, I'm just kidding. No, I won't trade for NFP. I will trade after. I don't mind trading after. Sometimes it can be a little bit difficult. For those that aren't aware, NFP is non-farm payroll, also known as non-farm employment change. It is a financial news event, a data release that comes out at 8:30 in the morning on Friday, tomorrow. Let me go to the chart and see what it says. Yeah, there's actually 3 events that are listed: non-farm employment change, unemployment rate, Average hourly earnings. We got an FOMC member speaking. And then we got another member speaking at 11. Yeah, tomorrow's going to kind of suck in the morning. 8:30 before the 9:30 open is okay, but oftentimes it just sets an insane range. And I'm anticipating, like others, that this one is really being looked at. I think there's going to be a big move for it. It should be a massive amount of volatility, and it can really just jack things up for the session. It can just set these insane levels of structure that are more difficult to trade off of. But I will look to trade after it. We have 8:45 is marked 8:45 a.m. Eastern is marked as an orange folder. Not really worried about that. 11 a.m. We have an FOMC member Wallace speaking. That sucks. It's red folder, and that has the potential for causing increase in volatility. So I don't love that, but I'll look to trade through it. My prime time for setups is right around that 9:45 to 10 o'clock. After that 15-minute opening range is set, I'm usually looking for trades right in that area, and then up until about that 11:30 time frame. 11:30 a.m. Eastern. Initial balance is set at 10, but even before that or after that, I'm looking for trades, maybe extending the range, looking for continuations and stuff. So that could be a little bit tricky. But yeah, again, guys, massive. If you take nothing else from this stream, NFP tomorrow, massive volatility, high likelihood at 8:30 a.m. Watch the magic, that trick that I give you guys here. Watch the chart at 8:30 a.m. That candle is going to be a lot larger than all the other candles around it. You might not want to have a trade on the market during NFP. That's the piece to take away from this. Looking left, yes, just a level. Cool. Fed focused on employment, yes. But hanging below the initial balance low almost all session. I'm partial to think it's not going back into the range and may go lower for the rest of the session. Yeah, dude. So check this out. Ready? Here's the cool stuff with some of these softwares that provide statistics on things like this. There's an initial balance report from Edgeful, and it can provide some context that you would find in backtesting if you found this stuff in backtesting. Initial balance, for those that don't know, is the 1 hour opening range from 9:30 a.m. Eastern to 10:30 a.m. Eastern. What is the high and low that is put in? Once that breaks to one side, it's less likely to come back up and break the other side. 68% of the time, it only breaks one side over the last 6 months. If I look for the last year of data, it is 64% of the time. If you look by weekday, it'll give you even more detailed information. 65% of the time on Thursdays, if ES breaks one side of the initial balance, it does not go up and break the other side. That happens only 31% of the time. It can also give you an average extension. So on average, over the last 6 months, if ES breaks above or below the 1 hour opening range, how far does it extend? 13 points. That's the average. 13 points. 13 points to the upside, 15 points to the downside. There's also, we've got a hell of a lot more than that today, obviously. And here's your reaction, looking down, not coming up to fill this liquidity up here. There's also a pretty cool one that is where is it? Power hour. Power hour breakout. Power hour breakout is what they call this one. How likely is it within the last hour before close that a new low or a new high is put in? It's actually not likely. It's typically not trading all the way to the low and past the low within the last hour of the day. Only 25% of the time a new high of day is made, and only 21% of the time a new low of day is made. Just an interesting stat. So right now, if I was going to use some of those things that you say, hey, this happens more often than not during this session as of recent data, It's not likely to come all the way down. Not that it doesn't happen, right? We're not talking about all the time, 75% of the time. Actually, 78% of the time. It's not likely to come down and put a new low of day in. It's also not likely to come all the way back up here and break above this high. You could use that to form some edge, to form some trades, around things that are statistically significant. This is the stuff that you would, utilize in back testing that might help you out. Again, I'm testing mainly with 15-minute opening range, which I've been playing with for quite a while, utilizing in my trading really. And now initial balance and the 1 hour candle, the statistics behind the 1 hour opening candle, as well as gap fill, which is a pretty interesting one. If you're looking at regular trading hours and ES leaves a gap from the close to the open, how frequently is that gap filled and how quickly is it filled? Some interesting stats behind that. But yeah, this to me, again, I was looking at it initially coming down lower. I'm back and forth here. I don't have direction. That's what I don't have a trade on. Choppy, right? If I put a buy or a sell on here, am I making big profit on any of this? No. So if nothing else, I come on here and display that I can read that we've got some not so great, not ideal trading conditions. I'm not a range trader. I'm not, just buying lows and selling highs here on the 1 minute chart. That's not the, it's not the way for me. So, but yeah, man, I'll be playing with this a lot more, and I will bring you guys reports and stuff that I think might be helpful. They'll also build out custom reports. If you have something that's 100% objective, that you can look for, that you want to understand, a stat behind, they build that stuff out. So it's pretty cool. Interesting. Really interesting stuff. All right, let me get rid of this. Come back to you guys. You got the opening session gap idea from ICT. No, I get no ideas from ICT. Other than to jump off of a fuck. No, I'm just kidding. No. The opening session gap, no, I did not get from ICT. Coming into the futures market, I've heard guys talk about it, and I'll show you an indicator from Edgeful that has this. I've really just heard about it from the guys at Topstep. I think that was probably my intro, just hearing people talk about it. During regular trading hours, there is traditionally a gap that's put in, and it is filled more often than not. So if we come over to, I'm going to try to display this on TradingView. Let me pull up sorry guys, let me pull up an indicator that shows it. Yeah, nice. Okay, so this is ES, and what this is showing you here, this is regular trading hours. So the close over here at 4 p.m. Eastern is actually right here, and the open being 9:30 a.m. What this is showing you is there a gap down in this case or a gap up from the price that ES closed at 4 p.m. Eastern to the price that it opened at for NYSE session. More often than not, the gaps up and down are filled, meaning price trades back through it within the session. This is an example where it doesn't happen. This is an example where it does happen. Here's an example where it does happen. Very, very small one, filled, gap down that filled, gap up that filled. This did not fill. You can utilize this pretty early in the morning. It can help you develop a bias, which way you want to trade, or at least be aware of. They also have the statistic by how big the gap is. If it's a fairly small gap, it's almost always filled. If it's a huge gap, it's not filled as often. So again, just interesting things to note. This is not something coming from the Forex market that I had paid attention to at all. On the US indices, if there's something happening, more often than not, and some of these stats are really, really high, like numbers, like in 80% of the time, something happening throughout the NYSE session, that's something I really want to know about and be aware of if I'm not already aware of it. So just having that awareness, right? Because I do trade discretionary, and managing my trades, as I'm in them or structuring my trades, I want to know about this stuff. But the gap fill thing is interesting. So I don't know if ICT or anybody else uses that, but cool. But there's also different like gaps that we talk about when we talk about gaps. This would be the gap from the close NYSE session to the open, 4 p.m. to 9:30 a.m. Eastern. So ICT is God. Yeah, I think he thinks so, and his followers certainly do. I've backtested the opening session gap 10,000 times. It offers no edge. Okay. It offers no edge because it doesn't tell you when it will be filled. It's irrelevant. It does. You can create custom reports to tell you when it will be filled. You can create a report that says how often from 9:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m., for example. How often is that gap filled? And maybe you find on specific days or specific instruments that gap is filled. So I don't know if it's irrelevant or not. I don't want to go out on a limb and say it's relevant yet because I haven't really utilized that. But I think I remember you, brother, from a couple times ago. We were talking about things that are statistically significant and not statistically significant. So I'm not surprised by your answer here. But again, I'll tell you one that I utilize in my trading, along with price action and market structure, right? You're right. Things are not helpful by itself, right? If I say, hey, in ES on Thursday, over the last year of data, 75% of the time, the 15-minute opening range breaks to the upside or downside. That's not enough, right? That's not enough to say, okay, as soon as it breaks one side, I go short. Maybe, that's not going to work for you. It's probably not. Maybe you're going to combine trend of the day, market structure, whether or not there's news, where you are in relation to a number of other levels, and decide when you want to maybe take a short, being aware that 8 out of 10 days over the last 6 months, this has occurred over the course of the session, and get short, like me over here, give you an additional reason to get short. Nothing by itself, right? And again, maybe this stuff is not helpful for you at all. Maybe nothing I use is helpful. That's totally cool. But find things that work for you, find levels, find ways, or maybe it's not levels, tools that you can use to help you get in with whatever direction you're anticipating the market to move. And even more importantly than that, find ways to structure your risk. Find good opportunities in the market and good ways to structure your risk. ES trades all day and night. Is there really a gap up, or is it just New York session? Just New York session. Just a concept for trade ideas. So ES does trade. There's electronic trading hours, which trade all night. 24/5 or whatever the number is. There are regular trading hours, which I really haven't looked at specifically. People look for individual different things on different charts. Again, that's one that I've been made aware of, that I've seen an interesting statistic around that I'm paying attention to. Again, a couple reports from Edgeful that I'm looking at. I would think the gap fills would be more useful for individual stocks. Yeah, maybe. I was always just aware of gaps as in like on stock charts, like a gap in price. Just a big gap in price. But again, you guys find stuff that's useful. That one specifically, interesting to watch so far. That's all I'm saying about it. I haven't taken trades based on it yet. The only stuff that I've used is stuff that I've already been using, really. Stuff that I've noticed through backtesting and finding whatever pattern or anomaly that you find in the market that you want to utilize in your trading. Drifting back down here in ES. back down here in ES. Jose, see, I'm trying to be a nice guy here. You see me, right? I did read it, but I laughed to myself. You know, I stay neutral, man. That's the best I can. Unless someone has to come for me, then, you know, then maybe we got a problem. By the way, currencies also have gaps in the underlying futures contracts. So Forex also gaps, opening session gaps. Not in the CFDs, but in the futures. All right. Yeah, Jose, you're funny, man. Zoomed out on Bookmap. Nothing really, guys. I mean, we got some stuff up here again, you know, that really didn't get filled as we came up. The same stuff that I was talking about, some liquidity up here, really didn't get filled as price attempted to come up higher. I'm going to hang out with you. We're coming into power. We're in power hour, last hour of NYSE session, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. So, you know, we'll see. Power hour is an interesting one to trade. I think it's going to be my opportunity more and more frequently on Topstep TV. If you guys are not aware, I've been on Topstep TV a handful of times as of recent. It's been really cool. Expecting to get back on there soon. It seems like Power Hour is the rookie segment that they're going to allow me to hop on for, right? Fast markets, they're going to have their heavy hitters. That's totally cool. I'm grateful to get on there. But Power Hour is tough. You know, you have an hour to get a trade in, so you need it to play out pretty damn quickly. And you have data that comes from the stock market that can cause some really gnarly volatility, specifically 350 MOC. You know, those orders come in, that data comes in. It can get pretty hairy pretty quickly. A lot of times there is just chop, and it's not great. And so, you know, you kind of got to be a little bit cautious. But you can certainly get these fast movements, you know, these continuations or rotation back up into the range if it hasn't already happened. This structure for me specifically today is really not ideal, right? You know, we failed to push up higher. I took it short twice. L on the first one, caught a nice chunk of the second one, or at least a nice chunk for me coming across the session range, you know, in the morning. Pushed a whole lot lower. We had a lot of opportunity here. Bunch of chop. Failure to move lower, and now buyers bringing it back up higher, really right to the middle of the range, right? Like we talked about, looking at a volume profile tool, right into the middle of this range. So we are selling back off. The gentleman that made a comment, you know, we've been rejecting from these VWAPs and this area, 15-minute opening range low and initial balance low. Here you go, all the way back down to opening range low, drifting lower. You know, looks like the play. Wow, got some volume and volatility coming behind this. Oh, yeah. Wow. Sellers really stepped in on this one. Big volume behind that one on Bookmap. Wow. Look at that. Sell was the play for whoever was getting short. Wow. There's the volume and volatility. A lot of chop happens. Sometimes you get some volume and volatility in the last hour of the day. There you go, man. The liquidity that was on down below, at least showing on Bookmap, is off the book. Came off about 10 minutes ago. We had quite a few orders sitting on the book down here. That's off. Interesting to see that play. Let's see where we go from here, man. Do sellers just absolutely carry this lower? This is now feeling like we potentially get new lows. That was a hell of a push lower. Yeah, I don't have much from down here, guys. This one's tough. I think I'm going to be sitting watching the market with you guys, but that's okay. We'll hang out. We'll see if something sets up. But I don't have something as we're breaking this. That's not a setup for me. I don't have a buy from down here anticipating it to crack back up. Not after this BS. We'll see. We will see. Get a nice sample size, at least 10, 100. What are we talking about here? 100 or 1,000. Backtest it thoroughly before you consider it, Zach. I know you can create reports in the gap, and I have, and I'm telling you it's statistically significant is very low. Sure. No, I hear that, man. I will absolutely consider it. Again, something that I'm just paying attention to, like I said before, I'm trying to trade anything. I'm going to watch it play out a lot of times. I'm going to backtest it. I'm looking for stuff that has a really strong indication and that I feel will play out in a certain time, that type of thing. So I appreciate that, man. No pressure. Don, do you trade the 15-minute opening range breakout? I've been trading it lately, marking out the first 15-minute candle and looking for entries on the 3-minute chart. So again, I don't trade the orb as in I'm looking for the breakout. A lot of guys, and a common trade is just an opening range, whether it's the first 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, initial balance, and to trade the breakout. Meaning here's your 15-minute opening range right here, right? Marked off by the first 15 minutes that, price action has traded, and you'd be buying as soon as it breaks to the upside. I haven't found luck with that. I see guys utilize different types of strategies around this. Tom Hogard has a fairly similar one. School run strategy, advanced school run strategy. Essentially, they're breakout strategies. But guys do well with it. I haven't done fantastic with just breakout strategies in that sense. If I was going to trade one, the one that I like the most is the initial balance breakout. The 1 hour, I just find it's, later in the session, it's kind of the trend that you're capitalizing on. And once it breaks to one side, it often does run, not like today. I wouldn't say this is every day, but it does run for a few points on that breakout. From what I've seen, more so than the first, 10 or 15 minutes. The way that I like to look at the 15-minute opening range is that, regardless of statistics or reports or anything else, just in my humble opinion, let's leave it at that, the 15-minute opening range seems to break both to the upside and the downside often. It lines up with a lot of other reasoning. It seems to be, even if we're going to push higher, as price starts to crack higher within the first 15 minutes, it loves to pull back down. Let's say if it's bullish, pull back down, take everybody out of their stops. Oftentimes the low lines up with the VWAP line, or maybe the New York VWAP or prior day VWAP if we're looking bullish and we're kind of above all of those levels. And conversely, for the sell side, if it's breaking the low, oftentimes it pulls back up to crack the high, even if we're going to continue lower. So I like to look at that 15-minute opening range as, if we break one side, I'm looking to the opposite side. I want to have some indication that we're coming back down. Like, I'm not just shorting right here today as we broke out of the 15-minute range to the upside, right? I'm looking to short as we're coming way back down in here with force. That was trade number 1 that failed, trade number 2 that played. So that's kind of how I use the 15-minute opening range. Kind of opposite, I would say, to a breakout. It's the opposite. I'm looking to trade in the opposite direction of the first break. So that's the you can look at that. You can go back and back test that. Take a look at how that looks. Again, I don't use that exclusively, but if you look at my trades, I have a lot of them that pay utilizing that initial thought process. I tend to like it long better than I like it short, and I like it to follow structure. If we're looking bullish in pre-market and at the open, I want to be buying after a break of the low and a continuation back up. Same thing for the sell side. If we're looking bearish in pre-market, bearish on higher time frames, bearish at the open, we pull back up to crack that high, and we're showing some selling pressure to the downside. Maybe there's, again, additional levels, confluences, and things I look for on, I don't even like that word, But additional confidence that I'm getting from Bookmap or additional reasons, I'm going to look for a sell towards that 15-minute opening range low. Again, I think that can be helpful. I think it's an interesting range to look at. And again, just individual levels that I like to pay attention to. More recently, again, I'm starting to mark the initial balance high and low. Again, takes way more time to form. We're talking an hour into the session. Kind of a lot's gone on by then. But it's interesting to see if it starts to break out, from that first hour to the upside or downside. It tends to like to continue in that direction. If that first candle is green, first hourly candle is green, it tends to like to end as a green day. Is that enough to trade off of? No, certainly not. But it can help you, I think, frame, right? That's kind of what we're doing with these levels. It's not any one thing. If price gets here, we do this. If it was that simple, we would code it into a bot or EA, and we'd all be millionaires. We'd just be hanging out. It's not that simple. So to me, it comes down to price action and market structure. Like, let me be clear. That's the core piece here. Price action and market structure. Utilizing levels and volume tools, VWAPs, anchored VWAPs, volume on the bottom, as well as order flow, in order to assist with that and provide some reasonings and ways to structure trades. But at its core, I'm looking at mainly structure and price action, and then trying to flow with the market. That's the goal, and find good opportunities where I think I have a positive risk to reward and a reason to put a trade on, and a nice, clear invalidation level. All that stuff lines up. That's when I put risk on in the market. That can sound complex, but it's really simple the way that I approach this stuff, guys. Really, really simple. You should be able to, by now, look at my live sessions and see the way that I trade, the levels that I use. This stuff is not complex. I'm not trading some crazy institutional bank. At its core, I think it's going to go up. I think it's going to go down. Here's where I want to place my stop. Here's where I think we might be able to reach. Boom. I let the odds play out my favor. That's it. Utilize my intuition, my discretion, watching this stuff play out over and over and over and over again on the chart. That's where, a lot of the edge comes from. I think you're right about the initial balance breakout. Those seem to last longer. The 15-minute works for me, but only when it gets retested. If I'm in for a quick half an hour scalp. Yeah. Again, you could back test this stuff, guys, right? Like, that's how, if you want to decide to use something or not use something, throw TradingView in replay mode and mark the chart every single day. Or utilize Edgeful, and, maybe that can start to help you there. Go back, mark the initial 1 hour opening range on ES every day for the last however long that you're comfortable with, and watch what happens when we break one side of that. What is the average that it moves outside of that? How does it break and pull back right away before it moves? And you can start to find ways that you would want to trade around these levels. Again, my opinion is anything 100% objective, rules-based is not going to work in the long run. You've got to apply additional pieces to that puzzle, and a part of that's going to be discretion. So, but I think, that's a powerful one. I think many, many, many traders trade the initial balance breakout. We hold above initial balance or below initial balance. That's giving them, bias for the day. They trade in that direction. Easy, very easy. Look at how it would have played today. Here's your breakdown below, initial balance. You could have sold the breakout as long as you ran again, this is 1 day, so, not significant, but as long as you ran a 5-point stop, you would have been okay. And, it extended 35 points below and didn't come back up to break the upside, and really didn't want to even come back up into it. So, but go back and back test this stuff, decide for yourself, don't take anybody else's word for it. Don't follow along blindly. At the end of the day, you're going to have the confidence to put the trade on, to put risk in the market, and you're going to get that from back testing and then forward testing, live trading it quite a bit. Dang, my stop was too tight for the current volatility. Got stopped out for it to go instantly in my favor again, done after the trade. Sorry, brother. Yeah, man. Volatility. We talk about that a lot. Find out how you're going to measure volatility. Whether it is with ATR, you're going to use an ATR indicator on a single time frame every single day, and you're going to get real comfortable for what that number is. If you want to be twitchy with a measurement tool like me, it's kind of the way that I do it. Coming into the open, I'm measuring how big is the 15-minute opening range. What do these pullbacks look like? What size am I going to need to put on in the market, and size accordingly. Widen up your stop loss. You can't. U.S. indices, you can, but I don't see many people successfully running a fixed stop loss day over day and week over week. It doesn't make sense to do, in my humble opinion. It should be based on volatility. Trading should be the same. Your approach should be the same. All that stuff can be the same. But your position size and your stop loss and take profit should be relative to the volatility on that day. Market structure and price action can look exactly the same. And on another day, today this is 31 points. On another day, this is 100 points or 200 points. Or maybe it's, 15 points. If we're not looking at, the price axis, it's really hard to tell what's going on here. So, find your way to measure volatility and adjust for that. It's an important thing to do as a trader. And I watch guys get absolutely smoked when volatility kicks up. It doesn't last forever. It happens rapidly. And if you're not prepared for it, not recognizing it, you run the same stop loss that you did the day before and run the same position size, you just get smoked. Maybe you get lucky, but most of the time you just get smoked. So I'm sorry that happened, brother, but use it as a learning lesson. Average true range, if you don't want to use measurement tools or position tools, can be a helpful tool. It displays volatility. That's what that is. But in my opinion, you have to utilize it consistently on one time frame and one instrument to start to get a feel for what the average is and how you're going to trade based on that number. So. And on that note, guys, feel free, ask questions, hop in the free Discord, hit the like and subscribe button. 141 people on here. Always have 2 likes. I really appreciate you slackers. Nah, you don't have to do anything that you don't want to do. Free means free. That's why I'm on here talking to you guys. And you don't have to do or give me anything. But if you want to help me try to figure out how to beat the YouTube algorithm, hit the like button. and maybe one day I'll figure that out. But guys, make sure you're aware. I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Trading's risky. Most traders lose money. You're probably going to lose money if you trade. Make sure you read the full disclaimer on the bottom of this video and on my site, realdealfutures.com. Live tomorrow. Live on Top Step TV coming up again soon. Hop in the Discord so you get all the updates. What are the fun stuff? 2 p.m. tomorrow. 2 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. It should be fun. And that's pretty much it, guys. I got nothing today. Choppiness. Nothing told me sell this back down. Initial idea was down here if you go back and watch me yap about it, but not nearly enough. As we started to push up, looked like we might come up into liquidity maybe and pop a little bit higher, but we didn't. Just sold right off. So creeping back up here. No trade on this. Unclear structure for me. Guys, I will talk to you soon. Thank you for being here. Another awesome day. Grateful for all you guys. I'll see you all in Discord. Be easy, all right?